Imagine being the son of one of the most polarizing figures in modern history. Cameras always watching, whispers following your every move. For Barron Trump, life was anything but normal, but nothing could have prepared him for what he found. In his locker, one quiet Tuesday morning, a cryptic note that would unravel secrets buried deep within the walls of his elite private school. Barron Trump wasn't like other kids. At 16, he had grown accustomed to blending into the background. Despite his last name, he attended St. Augustine Academy, an exclusive private school nestled in the heart of Washington, D.C., known for its prestigious alumni and strict traditions. The students were the children of politicians, CEOs, and celebrities, kids who seemed born with silver spoons in their mouths. But Barron didn't fit in. While his classmates flaunted designer clothes and threw lavish parties, Barron preferred solitude. He spent most of his free time reading sci-fi novels or tinkering with robotics projects in the school's tech lab. Despite his quiet demeanor, Barron couldn't escape the shadow of his father's legacy. Some students admired him, others mocked him. Teachers treated him differently, unsure whether to hold him to higher standards or give him a pass because of his family name. It was exhausting, and Barron often felt like an outsider, even in a place where everyone else seemed to belong. One person understood him, Mia Chen, a fiercely intelligent junior who shared his love for science fiction and conspiracy theories. She was the only classmate who never judged him based on his last name. Together they formed an unlikely friendship, bonding over late-night discussions about artificial intelligence and dystopian futures. The mysterious note. It started like any other day. Barron arrived at school early, as usual, to avoid the crowded hallways. As he opened his locker, something fluttered to the floor, a folded piece of paper. Picking it up, he unfolded it to reveal 2 words scrawled in shaky handwriting: "Help me." At first, Barron thought it might be a prank. After all, kids at his school weren't exactly shy about teasing him for his family ties. But something about those 2 words felt different, urgent, haunting. Who wrote it and why? He showed the note to Mia during lunch. "Do you think it's real?" she asked, her dark eyes narrowing thoughtfully. "I don't know," Barron admitted. "But what if it is? What if someone really needs help?" Mia nodded. "We should look into it. If there's even a chance someone's in trouble, we can't ignore it." And so began their investigation. Uncovering the truth. Over the next few weeks, Barron and Mia pieced together clues. They started by asking around discreetly, pretending to gossip about rumors of bullying. Slowly, they uncovered unsettling stories about hazing rituals and systemic abuse hidden beneath the school's polished facade. One night, while reviewing old yearbooks in the library, Mia stumbled upon photos of past students who had mysteriously transferred or dropped out. Each face told a story of pain buried under layers of privilege. One former student, Ethan Park, stood out. He'd been expelled after accusing a teacher of harassment. Determined to learn more, Barron tracked down Ethan online. Through encrypted messages, Ethan revealed horrifying details about the school's culture of silence. Powerful families protected their own, silencing anyone who dared speak out. Victims were either bought off or forced to leave. As Barron and Mia dug deeper, they realized the problem went beyond individual cases. It was systemic. Administrators turned a blind eye, fearing scandal would tarnish the school's reputation. Parents pressured teachers to keep quiet, prioritizing prestige over safety. But exposing the truth wouldn't be easy. Someone was watching them. Late one evening, as Barron walked home from the library, he noticed a black SUV trailing him. When he confronted the driver, the man simply smiled and drove away. "It's getting dangerous," Mia warned. "Are you sure you want to keep going?" Barron hesitated, but only for a moment. "If I back down now, nothing will change. We have to see this through." The town hall meeting. Word of Barron's investigation spread quickly, thanks to Mia's social media savvy. Students began sharing their own experiences, flooding forums with anonymous posts about bullying, discrimination, and abuse. Parents demanded answers, and the school board called an emergency town hall meeting. On the night of the meeting, the auditorium buzzed with tension. Parents, teachers, and students packed the room, eager to hear what Barron had uncovered. When his name was called, Barron stepped onto the stage, clutching a folder filled with evidence. For the first time in his life, he spoke publicly, not as Donald Trump's son, but as himself. "This isn't about politics," he said, his voice steady despite the weight of the moment. "This is about doing what's right. These are our classmates, our friends. They deserve to be heard." He proceeded to read aloud letters written by victims too afraid to come forward themselves. Each story painted a vivid picture of fear, isolation, and despair. By the time he finished, the room was silent, then erupted in applause. But not everyone was pleased. A group of wealthy parents stormed out, vowing to protect their interests. Others, however, pledged support, promising to fight for reform. A movement for change. In the days that followed, Barron's bravery sparked a firestorm of change. News outlets praised him for using his platform to fight for justice, proving that even the quietest voices can ignite revolutions. The school implemented sweeping reforms, mandatory anti-bullying training, stricter oversight of faculty, and anonymous reporting systems for students. Alumni came forward with their own stories, adding fuel to the movement. For Barron, the experience was transformative. He no longer felt like an outsider. Instead, he found purpose and a community of people who believed in him. As he walked across the graduation stage months later, Barron reflected on how far he'd come. He wasn't just the son of a controversial president anymore. He was a leader, a change-maker, and proof that courage can overcome even the darkest shadows. Sometimes the smallest actions lead to the biggest changes. For Barron Trump, a single note in a locker became the catalyst for a revolution. And in standing up for others, he discovered the strength to stand up for himself. Throughout the story, Barron grapples with his complicated feelings toward his father, Donald Trump. In one poignant scene, Barron confides in Mia about how his dad's public persona has overshadowed his personal life. "He's always been larger than life," Barron says. "But sometimes I wonder if he even knows who I am." Later, when Barron decides to go public with his findings, he calls his father for advice. To his surprise, Donald listens intently and offers words of encouragement. "You've got guts, kid," Donald says. "Whatever happens, I'm proud of you." This moment marks a turning point in their relationship, as Barron begins to see his father not just as a political figure, but as a flawed yet supportive parent. Mia's involvement in the investigation isn't purely altruistic. Her older brother, Alex, attended St. Augustine Academy years ago and left under mysterious circumstances. Through flashbacks, we learn that Alex struggled with depression after enduring relentless bullying. Though he eventually recovered, the scars remained. When Mia joins forces with Barron, she's driven by a desire to ensure no one else suffers like her brother did. Her determination inspires Barron to push harder, even when the stakes grow. Perilous. The black SUV that trails Barron becomes a recurring element of suspense. Initially, Barron dismisses it as paranoia, but as the investigation progresses, the vehicle appears more frequently. In a tense climax, Barron confronts the driver. During a late-night stakeout, the man reveals himself to be a private investigator, hired by influential parents to intimidate Barron into silence. "You don't want to mess with these people," the driver warns. Instead of backing down, Barron records the encounter and leaks it online, turning public opinion further in his favor. This act cements his resolve and galvanizes support for his cause.